The Sith warrior is the counterpoint to the Sith Inquisitor. Being a Sith is all about harnessing the power of one's emotions, especially those that are responses to the outside: hatred, fear, anger, jealousy, passion. The reason the dark side is quick to join you in a fight, as Yoda warned, is because these are the hardwired responses. Thus, fighting is a built-in fuel source for the Sith. A Sith Inquisitor tends to play a longer game, to allow these emotions to fester even as the Sith builds power, uncovering new dark arts and forwarding plans to bring about the means for even greater power. The Sith warrior, though, revels in that fuel source. That is not to say that a warrior cannot plan or strategize, but while the Inquisitor is content to let the power seethe and wait for release, the warrior embraces the full power that can be unleashed, to tap into that powerful and often present element of a fight: rage. Fight back, the warrior thinks. Try to harm me, hurt me even. Every swing, every shot, every blow only makes me stronger. Of course, one doesn't have to be consumed by hatred and fear, do they? One doesn't necessarily have to allow the emotions to control you, to use it without feeling hate or a desire for blatant cruelty. Mace Windu famously used a form of combat that leaned heavily on the dark side. What if there were Sith who did so from the opposite direction, if you will, who could stand upon the brink but not fall? This is the tale of Angela Ripley, the warrior who walked through darkness without allowing it room within. Prologue. The Sith Warrior. The Sith Empire tightens its grip on the galaxy. The Galactic Republic and its Jedi defenders lie weakened and vulnerable after the Empire's successful military campaign. With a fragile peace negotiated, the Empire sends all potential Sith to undergo cruel and deadly trials at its academy on the harsh planet of Korriban. Today, one of the Empire's most promising young warriors has been secretly summoned by an influential overseer to face the dark side trials much sooner than expected. Dun, dun, dun.
At last you've arrived. Good, good. There is much to do, and every moment is critical.
But of course you already knew that, for I am Paul Darrow.
I'm Overseer Tremel. For decades I've administered the trials that prove who is and is not worthy to join the Sith Order. The trials are a chance to weed out the weak. Those who face them either survive and become Sith, or die.
It's like the sport of catching bullets. You've got Grand Champion, and then you've got dead people. Okay, got it. Tremel has rushed me through the system in order to be able to challenge things because he is not happy with all the trash that have been allowed into the Sith Academy. And they have the nerve to actually not die. I mean, that's what riffraff are for. It's like their job.
That practice sword you've arrived with is insufficient. The blade of lesser acolytes. You need a dominating weapon.
I sure as hell hope you don't mean a whip or a riding crop. So he sends me to go into the tombs in order to get a weapon. I'm going to also take the opportunity to change my clothes. I don't really like this gray stuff. I mean, I am gray, but, I don't like to draw attention to that fact. Kind of thought there'd be a bit more to it than that. I mean, sure, there were a few slug monsters and the occasional raider in here, but I didn't think my mission was walk over there and pick that up. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, when the failure for trials is death, I'm all for making them as easy as possible. I mean, I'm fine if the final exam question is touch your own nose. You get 3 tries.
Hey there, Acolyte. Hold on a moment. Let me get a look at you.
No, that's fine. I'm used to it. There's so much greatness here. People need a little bit of time if they're going to really take it all in.
I'm Vemrin, and unlike you, I've fought and bled for everything I have. I demand respect.
Whatever you say, Short Round. By the way, is that your haircut, or did someone create the world's tiniest hedge maze?
Listen to me, you useless priss. Acolytes aren't allowed to murder each other, but accidents happen.
Yeah, I'm sure your mother told you that many times.
No more warnings. Vemrin's the alpha monster here. You go after Vemrin, you die.
Yeah, you and what army? Seriously, bring an army. I like a challenge. After meeting his daughter, the boss tells me what the problem is. Venrim represents the worst of what the Empire is, and he's unfortunately caught the eye of Darth Barris, who wields considerable influence here. If Barris takes Venrim as an apprentice, it will represent an unconscionable paradigm shift for the Sith. So I've got to step up instead. And that means rushing me through training. It's a little disconcerting. I'm kind of nervous about going too fast. It's the reason why I've had to have my face put back together recently. Anyway, now that I've got my blade, it's my job to go decide the fates of some prisoners. So, who's our lucky contestants?
One more chirp from you, little bird, and you'll regret it.
Chirp, chirp, chirp.
Now please, no interference from the studio audience.
Now, these 3 prisoners have been transferred here for your inspection. You got to interrogate them as needed, and then decide their fate. The convicted are usually executed or given a trial by combat to see if they're worthy. Whatever you decide, you will be the one to carry out the sentence.
Oh, with that enthusiasm, I'm kind of worried about the innocent. Oh yeah, they get the same treatment too.
As I was saying, she was sent to kill an Imperial spy in the Yavin system. Throughout her torture, she maintained that she was hired anonymously.
Get it through your damn head! I had no idea he was Imperial, and I don't know who hired me.
Really? Damn. Let me sing for you. It sucks to be you. It sucks to be you. You wandered around and trouble you found, and that's why you're screwed.
So now you must decide, execution or trial by combat. Which do you choose?
Neither, actually. She could prove useful. Send her to Imperial Intelligence.
Plus, it makes me laugh to think about you having to work alongside one of the very people you tried to kill. Well, in the next cell is a disgraced Sith. He screwed up royally, and now, well, it's curtains for him.
A warrior should die with his boots on.
My thanks, young warrior.
This is why it's so easy to hide among the Sith. I will grant you trial by combat, for in that way you may die a warrior. I give you the mercy of a quick, painless death, and not having to languish here forever, and will provide you with honor because I empathize with you. Dark Side.
Well, this last prisoner's a bit of a puzzle. He's called Breg, and he's a jittery little wretch, suspected of supplying forged documents to Republic agents. Strangely enough, he maintains his innocence, despite being severely tortured.
Well, I can't really imagine him being tortured any other way. I don't know, I'm just not feeling it today. I gotta admit, I'm not putting my all into it today, boss.
He's never wavered from that line, and the evidence is circumstantial. I suppose it's actually possible he didn't do it. So, what do you decide?
Well, I don't think that after having probably arrested him on wrong charges and then tortured him for it, we don't have to finish up by stabbing him in the face. I think we can call it a day. Let's just let him go.
Freedom, huh? That's a new one.
I had a feeling you were going to say that. This is like having an alien spaceship land in front of the Lincoln Memorial, and so they decide to send in the ICE because technically it's their job. Well, it's time to get my decision scrutinized. He approved very much of what I did with that assassin, but not with the failed Sith. In his view, we don't waste our time showing honor to those who have failed simply because one time at one point they did something great. Again, this shows how things may seem dark, but don't necessarily align with the Sith ways. Thus how the merciful can hide in plain sight in their ranks.
Deviltech was an utter waste of space. Once something is no longer useful, it should be eradicated. Remember that. Now, the last prisoner, the Forger. Letting him go was highly questionable. Explain yourself.
Keeping or killing him would be meaningless. Nothing would be gained by either.
Innocent or not, he leaves here with first-hand knowledge of our facilities and procedures. It's potentially compromising to have him floating about the galaxy.
Well, maybe we shouldn't fuck up like this then, huh? I mean, we were just going off about incompetence and all that. If we screw up and arrest the wrong people, maybe we're the problem. All right, on to business.
In the caverns of Mark Aragnos is the beast he left to guard his legacy. Go there, sit among the flames, and wait for the beast to come for you.
Sure, so long as I get to kill it when it comes then. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and let it eat me as some kind of teachable moment or anything. Yeah, I'm guessing that's the monster. This doesn't really look like it's going to be creating any fine art anytime soon. No great symphonies are being composed by those fingers.
Well, look who's here. Remember me?
Oh yeah, you don't encounter a stink like that and forget it anytime soon.
No more shortcuts, no more special treatment. You're just going to be another dead failure on Korriban.
Basically, this is the Inquisitor story flipped. This time I'm the fawn, having to deal with the lowly wretches. How lowly? Well, as you can see, the fight is over before I even have the chance to finish telling you that.
I was wrong. What they're saying about you, totally true. So strong.
Not to mention good looking and a great fashion sense, huh? Don't you love this outfit? So he leaves never to return, but the boss is not happy right now.
I may have made a slight miscalculation. The beast of Mark Aragnos was a great source of dark energy here on Korriban. When it was slain, there was a tremor in the Force. Darth Barris felt that tremor and has become aware of you. He demands an audience.
Well, so do I. Every time I do something great like that, there should be a crowd applauding. Oh, you mean a meeting? Okay, well, why don't you just say so? Why do you have to make everything sound all complicated?
We might not speak again, Acolyte. You're the best chance of stopping Vemrin. If you fail, I doubt there will be another strong enough.
Yeah, plus, I don't want to die. We should keep that near or at the top of our list of important reasons why this shouldn't go badly.
There, Tino. I believe that's the one.
Really? All right. Hey, you!
Careful, Tino.
Come on, I'm antsy for some action. You there? Are you the big shot they're all talking about? The one who's been personally summoned by Darth Barris himself?
Please tell me my time at the Academy will not be spent going from one moron to the next with a bloody knife.
It's just that we've heard so much about you.
And we want to get in good with you.
Tino, what my blunt partner here means is that if you need anything or anyone, say, dealt with, we'd like you to consider us.
I'm fairly certain that's the voice of the Imperial agent there. The female one, obviously. Well, I test their abilities to give them kind of an object lesson here.
You still took all four of us apart. This changes everything. From what I hear, Vemrin's every bit your physical equal.
My equal? Not a chance. I used to perform in Stomp. Well, time for me to go meet Darth Barris.
Most of you will not return from this endeavor. If you die, you will be forgotten. If you give up, you will be killed. No, out of my sight.
Really knows how to motivate people, doesn't he?
Vemrin has paid his dues. He's fought a deck stacked against him to get here. You, on the other hand, let me get a closer look at you. Yes, as I suspected. Overseer Tremel has done you and this academy a great disservice. Your warblade came early. Prisoners flown in for your convenience. Even a beast here on Korriban instead of off-world in the wild.
I guess we can't all be the picture of action and alacrity that you present. I'm sure if you weren't here, you'd be off rock climbing or in a triathlon. Assuming they could base 3 sports around a pie-eating contest.
Recite the Sith code for me, Acolyte, and explain its meaning in battle. war and politics.
C.
Your ability is undeniable, but your readiness and your understanding of the Sith way is woefully lacking. I am your master now.
I'm sure I'll fully blossom under your bright leadership. He has figured out Tremel's game and declares him a traitor, and orders me to go execute him. And Tremel is deflated at the brilliance of Barris's stratagem.
Barris has the authority, but I did not think he would do something this overt. Either I die, or he forces me to kill you, and to destroy my own plan. A master stroke.
Yeah, that's not what I signed up for. I mean, I've been trying to turn over a new leaf, and I don't want to show up at my next support group meeting and tell them, yeah, I killed my boss on the first day of my new job. He assumes that he is going to be killing me, but he's rather surprised to discover that, no, I am just that good.
No, I'm amazed. I knew you were strong in the Force, but not like this.
Yeah, I don't have the theory down very well, but when it comes to practical applications, that's where I really shine. I finally get him to understand what I was trying to say before. He doesn't have to die. I just need to bring his hand to Barris. And yeah, I'm sure that he would like to keep it, but I'm sure he'd like to keep breathing even more. So, if you give me your hand, you get to live to fight another day. And I will look so much better at my next meeting. So I tell Barris, and he falls for it.
Here, take this one ring as a memento.
What, the one ring? What, like Lord Sauron? Well, no offense, it's just I never pictured Lord Sauron sitting around dipping sticks of butter into mayonnaise.
You have taken your first step to understanding the Sith code. Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion, we gain strength. Through strength, we gain power. Through power, we gain victory. And through victory, our chains are broken. The Force shall set us free.
Okay, lesson learned. I just hope that they all aren't like this. If I have to kill somebody every time you're going to teach me something, there's going to be quite a stack, because I don't know all that much.
You've made your point. I understand.
That's more like it. I had a feeling you'd be a fast learner.
Well, I had to be. At my last job, there was a 20-question entrance exam. And that's a problem when you only know 12 things. Anyway, Barris sends me to do the same job that the other acolytes are. Go into the temple and gather up these shards from these tablets, and then bring them back to him.
You will do this, or you will die.
I get the feeling I'm going to be hearing that from you a lot. So I head into the temple, gather up the shards, and come back. Sure, there's, killer robots and the occasional monster or just disgruntled employee, but they're no problem. However, I have a discovery when I come back.
You did it, didn't you? You got the shards from the tomb, and you're on your way back to Lord Barris.
I didn't even break a sweat.
That's all I needed to hear.
What did I do to you now? Like, I am really regretting coming here. Everybody hates me or wants to see me dead. Actually, there's probably a lot of overlap between those two now that I think about it. Point is, there's a lot more people who want to kill me than in my last job.
I figured better to ambush you and take your shards. But I see that's just as futile. Vemrin is already inside with Barris. All the other acolytes died. You were my only chance. Now, I'm doomed. I'll never become Sith. Unless I return with the shards, Barris will have me killed.
Would it be so wrong just to stab one, just to take one? Oh, fine. Take my shards. I'll go get some more. Jeez.
What can I do to repay you?
Not trying to kill me would be a good start. So I run back and get some more, and then come back here to give them to Barris.
There is very little that escapes my scrutiny, and I know, Acolyte, that you provided Clemrel with his shards. So, since it was only by your tolerance that Clemrel stands before me, I leave his fate in your hands.
Well, I didn't do that entire damn errand a second time just so I could see the guy die anyway, so I spare his life. Barris, though, can see that this guy is not Sith material, and so has him reassigned. He's going to be handling prisoners. I mean, he's going to be in charge of taking care of me. He's not going to be feeling up Vet or anything. So that just leaves me and my nemesis.
You both stand on the precipice of becoming Sith. But only one of you will have the opportunity to claim a special lightsaber and serve as my apprentice. I thought it would be you, Vemrin, but I've changed my mind.
Ha! Suck it! Wait, that might be against the rules. Let me check. No, nothing against gloating. Ha! Suck it!
Today, Vemrin is every bit your equal. But the Force is stronger with you, Acolyte. And there is a power sleeping within you.
All I heard was, I'm great and only going to keep getting greater. So, he's tossed out, and I get the job of getting the lightsaber from the tomb of Naga Sadow. The entryway is hidden, but Vet, the Twi'lek prisoner from before, she's figured out a way to get in, so I'm going to be using her to help out.
You got some kind of business in that secret Sith chamber, do you?
Yes, and I'd appreciate your help.
No reason not to be polite. If I have to be scary, I can be scary later. I mean, with all these implants on my face, it certainly is easier now, isn't it? So we head into the tombs, which is not easy because basically all of the rejects who are looking for a chance to try to redeem themselves are in there. So, I've got to kill a lot of them. But it's strictly in self-defense. Even if I do kill about 50 or 60 of them, it was 50 or 60 cases of self-defense. I mean, no one has ever mentioned to me that there's a max number for that.
Hey, this is it. The secret entrance to the hidden cavern is in here. Just let me get my bearings.
Well, while we're waiting, my nemesis swings by to try to kill me and take my place. But turns out my support group was right. There really is some kind of karma.
Glimmerel, how dare you interfere? This business is far beyond you.
I'd be dead if it wasn't for her. I'm not going to let you stab her in the back.
I appreciate it. It's a real shame that he's not going to survive.
It's the least I could do.
No, the least you could do is die.
Quentin Tarantino is filming this scene. Someone dies and he thinks that we should shoot a close-up of some feet. Well, Ripley is not happy about that and fights him, and naturally wins.
Did I come this far and overcome such adversity, only to be proven unworthy?
You're wasting your time. Just die.
Okay, yeah, I know I shouldn't have done that, but it's been a long day, okay? It's like if you slip behind the building and have just one smoke, does it really count? So we head inside, get the lightsaber, and bring it back in glory to my new master.
Murderer! My father was a staunch traditionalist and he was especially hard on me. But he's my blood. Did you think you could kill him and get away with it?
What? Oh shit, I forgot all about her. Well, to answer your question, yeah. Barris specifically told me that I would be able to get away with it, so... sorry. She's not going to take that for an answer, so I finally let her in on the secret. And then she leaves to go finish her father off for real, so... I don't know, theirs must be a complicated relationship. Anyway, on to the new master.
I am beside myself.
Really? I wouldn't think there'd be room.
Bravo! I see you may indeed become one of the strongest Sith in the galaxy. Your trials are over. You are now my apprentice.
Just what I always wanted since this afternoon. I'm to meet him on Droman Kaas, with a stop at Viking Space Dock, and I get to keep Vet as my pet from now on, though that probably wouldn't fit in too well with my new direction in life. Skull reconstruction tends to make you a bit introspective about your choices. So I take Vet aside while we're on the station waiting for our shuttle.
So, hey, I've been thinking, maybe you want to take this shock collar off? You know, as a sign of thanks for my hard work on Korriban. Not that I don't enjoy the perpetual fear of electrocution.
I figured that wasn't a bug so much as a feature, but yeah, I'll take it off. This new perspective really opens my eyes after all. The Empire seemed so powerful and unstoppable, but now it's feeling more insubstantial to me. And not just because I can apparently pass through it at will.
You will remain with me and help achieve my goals.
Fantastic. Glad you could open up.
Hey, I'm at work. I'm saving it for group. Well, we should really get a move on and get to Drummond Cass. I'm sure the new master is waiting. I mean, for us specifically. I'm sure he's always waiting for, like, his baby back rib eclairs or something.
You're the one, yes. Not like the scabs that exited the shuttle with you. You radiate power, Lord. I bow before you. I serve Lord Barris. He sent me to meet his new apprentice, and I made sure I was here on time. I certainly did, yes indeed.
Yeah, I appreciate the greeting, but I'll pass on you showing us around. The last thing I need is a guided tour by Smeagol.
I see you decided to keep the slave. I hope she amuses you.
She has her moments.
A properly beaten down slave is the only trustworthy creature in the galaxy.
Yeah. Saw those words crocheted on a pillow once.
I have painstakingly built a vast network of spies and operatives embedded throughout the Sith, Republic, and Jedi alike. I have fingers, eyes, and ears everywhere.
I understand, my master. Who would you like me to start fingering first?
A military starship is touching down at the Cass City cargo port, delivering a vitally important prisoner to me.
Let me guess. He's a colonel named Sanders with a secret formula, and you plan to torture it out of him if necessary. So I go to make sure the prisoner is delivered smoothly, and it's a good thing because these guys figure that they're in the middle of Cass City, nothing bad can happen to us. You have no idea who you work for, do you?
Sith interests are complicated.
Yes, my lord. Whatever you say.
Wait a second, my top knot is sensing something.
Not so fast. My master ordered that block of ice. So step away from the Carbonite Man and no one ends up in a grave.
An attack by rivals on my first day. What could be better?
Looky. If it ain't Slestak, your master be wanting the Froze Man too, huh? Too bad for you. It mine.
Do you think there's a brain under all of that, or he's found a way to formulate words using only his muscles?
If you don't flee, this be like killing 2 stone with 1 bird.
I'm such a fool.
Not compared to our current company, you're not.
You mouth always get you in trouble, Slestak. It about to chew off more than it can bite.
I'd like to see you prove it, Tumar.
Yeah, I prove it, Sith. Boys, first we beat Slestak, then do job.
Good, I hope he wins. I figure I got about a 50-50 chance of talking him into blowing his own head off afterwards.
Well done. While they fight, my men and I will deliver the prisoner to Lord Barris. Thank you for buying us time, my lord.
Yep, and these guys are such an even match that it turns out I don't even have to go in there and finish off any of the survivors, because there aren't any. I guess they were all right. I really just needed to work smarter and not harder.
Lanklin informed me of the ambush at the cargo port. Apparently there are more eyes on us than even I thought. I have felt a disturbance in the Force. It leaves doom imprinted on my dreams. A grave and mysterious threat that could bring down my entire power base.
I suppose you'll want me to get right on that then.
This frozen man is a top Republic agent captured while investigating my most deeply embedded spy on SWTOR.
So this guy is probably in for hours and hours of endless, unimaginable, indescribable torture. Well, better him than me.
I must learn what tipped off the Republic agent. He is the key to uncovering the nature of this threat.
Right. So now that we have established that there is an intolerable plot against Darth Barris, that an existential threat of unknown power and infestation is out there potentially dismantling his entire power base, Barris sends me off on a fucking errand.
There's been much unrest in these parts recently, my lord, capped off by a violent slave revolt that has the surrounding jungles overrun with armed slaves.
So if you've watched my other The Old Republic videos, then this should be familiar, dealing with the slave uprising. What you might not know is this.
What no one knows is that Lord Barris orchestrated the insurgents to disrupt one of his rivals, and he wants his involvement kept secret.
Yep, this whole mess is Barris's fault. Ah well. Thing is, the slave captains are aware that Barris wants that detail kept secret, so they're trying to blackmail him. So, this is my chance to rush in there with my lightsaber and work out a way that will resolve the threat without the need to choose violence as my first option, because I am a rational being and a beautiful person who can rise above that if I make the choice.
In fact, some have been selling their fellow slaves to the black market. If their followers found out, they'd be furious. If I had proof that they're selling their own people back into slavery, I could blackmail the slave captains to stop blackmailing Lord Barris.
See, now that's a plan. I can get behind that plan. Now, of course, there's probably going to be some resistance to me finding any records of such transactions, but that's okay. It was made clear to me that it's all right if I kill in self-defense. So if necessary, I will kill them in self-defense right in the face.
I don't care what you do. Break my bones, burn my flesh. I'll tell you nothing.
That's just gross. Man, a big part of the reason that I pick on Darth Varys is that I can't imagine anyone exposed to such disgusting stimuli regularly and having such a strong appetite. I mean, I look at this guy and I think I've lost 3 pounds just in the act. Whereas with Barris, I'm honestly surprised that he's not holding a hoagie right now.
I have another important task for you. It involves a renegade Sith Lord named Grathan, a particularly bothersome thorn in my side. Meet with my apprentice, Drykel Ball. He's my covert operative in Gratham's compound. Ball claims to have made a key discovery.
I thought I might be your only apprentice. That makes Ball my rival.
Try to tolerate him long enough to get the details and conclude your business there.
I'll do my best, but so far I haven't run into a Sith rival yet that wasn't a complete ass. So thanks to all the confusion, because everybody has to break into Grath's estate. Anytime anything happens around here, somebody's got to get involved from some faction. Anyway, I used that cover to slip inside quietly so I can meet with the ass.
You must be the operative Lord Barris sent. I thought he'd choose a stealthy assassin, not some senseless savage.
Savage? I should club him over the head and eat his face. Wouldn't be much of a loss. How good of a spy can he be if he confused me with all the other people out there fighting?
Lord Grathan is a rogue Sith who boldly defies the Dark Council. Locked away here, he's been untouchable. Lord Barris wants to let Grathan know he can be reached. And after a year undercover, I've discovered the way. Lord Grathan has a son.
What does that have to do with anything?
I was assigned to find Grathan's weakness. He's kept his son a secret in order to protect him from his enemies.
Oh, listen to that noise. That must be the sound of me bursting my way here because I have no sense of stealth. That must be my fault. Anyway, yeah, congratulations. You figured out that this guy had a kid after a year of living in his house. Good job, Nancy Drew.
All you have to do is locate the monitoring stations around the compound and, well, stick your lightsaber in them. Think you can handle that brute?
Keep calling me names, Ball. You're playing with fire.
Is it so easy to get under your skin?
Yeah, I admit it. I don't suffer fools gladly. You found my kryptonite. It's dipshits. So after dealing with that little security matter, I'm free to break into the base itself, and I find my way to Graffin's son and wife.
You'll find I'm not so easily intimidated. My son is still an acolyte, but I am Sith. Beelslit, take cover.
No, Mother! I stand at your side! Attack!
Attacking a Sith warrior with a practice blade. Is this combat, or is it more a suicide attempt?
Enough. It's clear we are not your match. If we're to die, I must know. What have we done to deserve death?
Well, you see, it's, You've made this awkward all of a sudden. So I explained the problem. Darth Barris wants Graffin to know that he is not untouchable, but he doesn't want the man himself actually dead because he's useful. So that's why we got to kill the son, to prove that we could kill Graffin, even though we can't. If you follow me. Well, she has a plan of her own.
Long ago, my husband was nearly beheaded. Now he cannot exist without his helmeted mask. Everyone knows this. Kill Lord Graffin. My son will wear the mask and assume his mantle. He'll publicly rant that his son was murdered. No one will be the wiser.
What's in it for me?
In addition to appearing successful in your task, I'll reward you in either credits or an item of power, your choice.
I'm liking this deal. I don't have to kill an innocent person, and I get rewarded for it for a change. Okay, let's go lop the guy's head off.
My uninvited guest finally arrives. Your feelings betray you, youngster. I sensed your murderous intentions the moment you entered my sanctum. What's more, your unshielded mind has revealed your accomplice, my loving wife.
Yeah, well, two can play at that game.
Your unshielded mind reveals that you're scum.
I am death itself, child. Come embrace the darkness.
Oh yeah, you're death. Yeah, that's why you need a helmet to keep your head on. I admit I was half tempted to bonk it and see if I could get it to hang onto his back during the rest of the fight. But no, there's no time to play, so we take him out and get back to that lady and her kid.
Yes, I sensed my husband's death. Lord Graffin is no more. What pleasure to think he suffered.
Yeesh. I've definitely got to remember my anniversary this year.
I have longed for my father's death and the chance to claim his power.
I'm getting the sense there wasn't a whole lot of love in this house. I think I'll leave before you two start killing each other now.
So is it done? Is Grathan's son dead?
You're a condescending windbag ball.
It's pretty easy to push your buttons, brute. Doesn't say much for Grathan security forces if a clumsy clod like you was able to bang into his private chamber and off his son.
I find your empty chatter amusing.
You'll find my lightsaber a bit sobering.
It's pretty easy to push your buttons, dipshit. His plan is to kill me, and then excuse it with Darth Barris by saying that it was to help solidify his cover. However, it seems that something hasn't occurred to him. I'm being groomed as Barris's personal enforcer, whereas he is so unimportant he can be left undercover for a year and won't be missed. Yet somehow, he thinks that he's my equal in a fight. Seems my lightsaber's very good at getting under your skin. And you know what the best part is? I know that killing you is going to be so trivial a matter to Barris, it'll come up at most in roughly the same tone as if I had been rained on slightly. At most, a minor inconvenience that no one will ever feel the need to comment on again. You seem unhappy, Master. Would you run out of cake frosting to dip your bacon in?
I haven't heard from Dykal Ball, my agent in Grathan's camp. He's missed a scheduled communication. Let me guess. He gave you trouble, did he?
He left me no choice, Master. I had to kill him.
No matter. He fulfilled his primary purpose.
Yeah, not only does Barris not give a shit about you dying, Ball, but I doubt you'll even qualify as a footnote in either of our histories. Even if you're brought up, it probably won't be by name, it'll be an operative. Or more than likely, that stupid operative who got himself stupidly killed because he's stupid. Anyway, the reason our master is so peeved is that the spy will not break. He's clearly being shielded by whatever force is trying to expose Barris. So, he has an alternate plan, involving the Dark Temple.
In the bowels of the temple, he conducted horrifying experiments that drained the knowledge and life essence from all the greatest Sith Lords of the time.
Well, he really threw away his chance to be boss of the year.
The Emperor created a device called the Ravager that ate his victims' minds and delivered to him their greatest secrets. No one could withstand the Ravager's intrusion. Even the strongest Sith Lords of the Empire confessed whatever the Emperor craved.
Yeah, quite a guy our Lord and Master, huh? Sure am glad we picked his side.
The Emperor keeps the Ravager hidden in the Dark Temple, which has, in his absence, become a death trap. There's a good chance the horrors that await you will be too severe, but it's worth your life to me.
Look, I knew you felt that way. It was just I didn't expect you to just flop it right out on the table like that. I mean, I'm under no delusions that if I turn around and pick something up off the floor, someone might be checking out my ass. But there's a difference between that and me turning around and seeing them holding up scorecards for it. So I battle my way across all of these crazed minions, only to find... Son of a bitch. Now I gotta go out and kill more people in the hopes of finding the ones who have got it. Still, I don't think it can be held against me if I'm killing people who are possessed by crazy force ghosts. There's probably a loophole there. I don't think that counts as murder. I'm not counting it anyway. I think that's fair.
It was foolish of you to return here.
Uh-oh. Looks like we got another fight on our hands.
Those pieces you took from my minions belong to me. They will enable me to exact my revenge on Lord Farshal. I am Lord Vacuous, the conqueror of Begeddon, the killer of Garatak the Singed.
Well, that's all well and good, but it doesn't deliver the message if you don't dress the part. I mean, look at my master. Do you think he'd get all this power if he showed up for work in sweatpants and a Coca-Cola t-shirt that doubles as his napkin? No. You gotta look the part before you can act the part. That's free advice right there. That all? I don't know. It doesn't seem very impressive considering how much effort I had to put into this. So I take it back to Lord Barris to get his opinion.
You're wasting your time. I will not.
Yes, the Ravager has seized his mind. Excellent. In his condition, we don't have long before the ordeal liquefies all brain matter.
Suddenly, I'm not feeling so great about this plan. And I was kind of hoping that it would spare this guy further pain. Let's face it, Barris was going to keep this up no matter how many hours, days, weeks of torment it would take to get his answers. He was never going to stop. It's just I didn't know that this thing was going to turn his brain into soup. Is there anything our Emperor made that wasn't evil? Probably not. I mean, just look at the home planet he picked for us. Hot, humid, stinking. Swear, it's like living in Darth Barris's jockstrap. Anyway, this whole thing is the work of Nomen Karr, a Jedi who had once infiltrated the Sith and is Barris's oldest and most hated enemy. Karr is trying to prove that the Sith have spies everywhere, and to help him with that task, he's got a new Padawan that can prove it. They can look into you and find hidden darkness or light. Well, he doesn't know much about the Padawan themselves. He can tell us that the person got their power on Alderaan, revealed this ability on Tatooine, and then he was checking out Nar Shaddaa, and someone else was checking out a spy on Balmorra. But that's all. Then he dies. Barris says he's unhappy, but I point out that he's got some leads now in this, and that seems to perk him up a little bit.
Nomen Karr is a relentless crusader, and this Padawan and her unprecedented power threaten everything I have achieved. Your duties are likely to take you to the far reaches of the galaxy. I will need to deploy you at will. You shall have a starship of your own. You've earned it. Go to my personal hangar in the spaceport and claim it.
Yes, finally, I knew it. If I just hung in there, eventually I'd get my own ship and the chance to handle things my way. No more being micromanaged and the ability to mete out destruction. The ability to resolve problems peaceably, by preference, with other options open if they're necessary. But this is it. This is what I've worked so hard for. Now, no one will dare to look down on me again.
Son of a bitch!